just got the sun coming up over there, over the river, and I've got the car in with the sun at the backlight. But I'm losing a bit of time, guys. I probably should have been here a bit earlier. It is New Year's Day, and I thought I'd get it nice and quiet because most people will probably be in bed recovering from their drinking regimes. But I've got to get my cameras going and just get my mirrorless. I'm recording this on my 6D Mark II, guys, and that's still a very, very good camera. Get some very, very good photos, but I prefer using a mirrorless because what you see is what you get with the mirrorless. And I just want to get on my 85mm because that's my preferred lens that I like to shoot with. And just bear with me while I get this all happening. I'm also running my ND filter on it. I'll see how that goes. That might be too dark, but we'll just have to see how that works out. I'm in manual. I like to use manual when I'm shooting photos. Okay, so now we've got the sun behind one of the buildings over on the other side of the river, and we've got the much-to-up bridge, and we're looking about Swan River. Unfortunately, the river is quite choppy because the wind's quite strong. Would have been nice if it was glassed off, but that's just the brakes, guys. So I'm not seeing anything at the moment. I've got 400 ISO, 2.8 and 200, and I've got a black screen. So obviously I need to open that up a little bit, increase the ISO. So hang on, let me see this. I'm at 800. So okay, geez. Yeah, so maybe I can bring down my shutter speed. I'll put that on 400 ISO. Bring down the shutter speed to 125. Okay, we're starting to see something now. Okay, so I'm looking at my histogram now. The histogram seems to be looking fine at 1.2. I'm just having a look here. So once we go above 1.6 at 400 ISO at 125, it's starting to clip. So it doesn't matter too much if the sun's blown out a little bit, but I will. Okay, so now I can focus. Now that's focusing on my car, which is it's doing a pretty good job. I don't know if you can still see me, guys. I might be going out of the picture, but I'm having to go back a little bit to get the whole car in. So I've set that exposure compensation, so I'm just going to get right down on the ground here and just focus that, and let's fire off some shots. Okay, so let's see what we can do. Get some a little bit more straight on. And there's some beautiful houses across this little inlet to Claysbrook here at East Perth. So just see if I can get some water in the background. And see how that turns out. The good thing about doing morning and evening shots is the light is a lot softer. It's not so harsh, and especially for cars, because cars are very much like a mirror and they reflect the light, and you get a lot more contrast, and it's very hard to control or bring that back in post to try and make the car look good. But when you've got light like this, it's nice and soft, the cars look a lot much better, and it makes it a lot easier to make the actual photo look good when you're in post. What I'm going to do, I think I might actually stop the video here, and we'll see if I can move the car to a different location and see if we can get some different shots. Well, I'm just down here at the Claysbrook entry, and there's some number of hotels and some cafes, and obviously they're not open at this time in the morning on New Year's Day. and we have some nice terraced apartments here. Not apartments, I suppose they're houses. Looks really nice. The water's actually quite calm in actually the inlet. It's a little bit blown out over on the river, but I think we can get some nice photos here. I've got the sun coming up a little bit higher in the sky, and I'll just get my mirrorless set up here. And let me just flip my screen around so I know you can't see me here, but just get a little bit closer so you can see me now. See my back, guys, and just focus on the Lotus emblem because that's obviously very, very important. And then we'll just fire off some shots. Okay, I think it's telling me that with that last shot, it's very blown out in the sky. I might just bring it down a little bit. Actually, drop the aperture down a little bit. Yeah, it was blown out. So I'm just dropping. That was actually I did a bit of a poor job there. I didn't look at my histogram. Histogram's showing now that I've dropped it down, that the sky is not blown out. So let's get those photos there. The car's actually pretty dark at the moment, so we'll what we need to do is, because we've got such a high contrasty photo, what we'll need to do is try and bring the car back, the colours back in post. The Canon cameras are not as good as the Sony's for doing that, but because I get that exposure compensation, I've got 3 photos to pick to choose from, which then gives me a little bit more, what would you call it, variance, and I could even stack them as well. So I could use the photos to use high dynamic range. I don't use that very often, but that is actually another possibility that you could use if you wanted to get the car color up, because at the moment it's actually pretty dark. Thanks for watching, guys, on New Year's Day, and I hope you've had a beautiful New Year's Eve, and I hope you enjoyed some of the tips that I used to film my photos. Apologies for getting my little adapter that goes on here for my GoPro, so you couldn't actually see the on-screen data, but I did talk you through my settings, so hopefully that'll give you some good ideas for when you're actually taking your photos of your cars. Okay, guys, cheerio. And thanks for watching one of those photos, Lotus cars, and I'll see you in the next vid. Cheers.